Siema, z tej strony, ale z Big Bad Dice, gramy w The Thaumaturge, Thaumaturgę, cudotwórcę, tak, jak zwał, tak zwał, wiemy o co chodzi, zaczynamy, mamy tutaj, jesteśmy w Warszawie, ale sytuacja jest niezbyt sympatyczna, ponieważ, no cóż, zaraz dojdzie do jakiejś bójki między warszawiakami a ruskimi żołnierzami, tak, zobaczmy co tutaj możemy zrobić.
Pardon me, gentlemen.
The crowd has received the order. For now, zero response.
We'll give them a moment. To arrest them all, book them. Okay. Gospodи, we'll be home in November.
Gentlemen, please forgive me. Maybe there's a faster way to get this situation resolved.
Back off, Poliak, or we'll start shooting. Paniatno, skrom. Dawaj.
Dumna.
Sergeant, I didn't want to do this, but my name is Viktor Szulski.
Shulski or Smolski, I don't care.
We'll make an example of you for the rest of these bastards.
Serio? Będziemy się bić? O. Wybierz siebie lub salutora. Możesz przeglądać mnie też zarówno swoje, jak i salutora. Pozwolić to zaplanować każdy atak. Też było. Przywołaj innego z salutora. Wrogie posiłki są w drodze. Czyli mogę wybierać sobie, tak? Kto zrobi pierwszy ruch. Zadawniona rana. O, zginął. Wróg pokonany. Też zginął, kurde. I co z tymi posiłkami? O, przyszli. Cechy. Wrogowie mogą posiadać cechy, które odpalą ich na twoje... Tak, cechy są przypisane do szczególnych wymiarów i mogą zostać uśpione. Aby uśpić cechę wroga, zaatakuj go salutorem, który pochodzi z tego samego wymiaru, co ta cecha. Jak on ma cechę? Szeregowy, odporność, cechę. No taki upyrem był uśpić. O, silny jest. I strzelać zaczął. Okrutne to było. O! Oh well. Koniec gry?
Name?
Ja co bym nie zrobił, pewnie tak się by skończyło.
Polski. Wiktor.
One of those Shulskis?
Yes.
My condolences. Now, profile.
Thank you.
What you pissing in the bucket for, asshole?
Where else am I supposed to?
Syreniak.
Brown in the bucket, whiz on the wall.
I ona też trafi... A nie, ona...
For the two. That bucket's gonna last you guys till tomorrow.
Can I use the phone?
Zrobię save, aczkolwiek chciałbym spróbować innej opcji jakiejś. Czy niekoniecznie się bicie. Kurwa, napisałem tamten zapis.
Do you think it's a good idea to stir people up and send them to face bullets and bayonets?
What do you want then? My whole life on my knees? Kissing Ruski's ass?
Do you realize blood is about to be spilled? And that it might be mine?
Fuck off!
Do you think it's a good idea to stir people up and...
Już było przed chwilą.
I was trying. They won't expect us to strike first.
Let's see for ourselves.
O, mam sojusznika teraz. Ale to co bym nie zrobił, tak samo skończę na komisariacie, to równie dobrze mogę wczytać nam ten zapis. Ulotki rewolucyjne. O strajku. Cwaniak.
What are you staring at, Ganef?
I don't know what that means.
Quit squealing. First time in the big city? Have some respect if you don't know who you're running your mouth at. What did they put such a swell in jail for?
Bo przyznaj z dumu, że pobiłeś się z rosyjskimi żołnierzami.
Killed a couple of Russian soldiers when I think about the petitions.
I have moments like that sometimes.
And I gave it to some Ruskies in the kisser, too. There's this red-bearded fella sitting there. I glassed him in the face, then kicked him in the bean, and wham! On the floor. And I pinched his billfold, too.
Did anybody ask you? Shut your damn trap. Well, are you from somebody?
What about you guys?
Sonny, I've still been running the protection racket with Crook at the Ruzhitsky Bazaar. My dad used to work for him. But that was back in the day. Apart from that, I stay straight. I only hassle the Ruskies when I get a little loaded.
And I'm with the Shivs.
Bullshit. You ain't with the Shivs. Don't you go talking crap about the Shivs, cause I know them. You better give a fuller explanation, cause I lose respect real quick. I'm sensitive about folks like that. Who you from?
My name's Viktor Szulski, and I work on my own behalf.
All right. Respect.
Nie będę mówić, że jestem taumaturgiem.
I am a Thaumaturge.
Nie tak powiedział.
Now them, I got respect for. I know one really decent Jew from Povishla, who's a wizard too.
How about you? You got a foreskin or what?
Is my foreskin any of your fucking business?
Well, no. I was just...
Schmuck. But you don't look like much of a Warsaw lad.
Should not judge a book by its cover.
A tough guy, like a real Warsaw lad.
I was born here. Now I've come home.
Welcome to Warsaw.
Czy on powiedział na Warszawę Syreniego Grodu? Dobra, to usiądziemy. O, jest i ona.
I wouldn't call you a master strategist.
You got away from the station, so theoretically, we achieved our goal.
You're not losing your sense of humor. I guess this isn't your first time in a place like this, is it?
You'd better tell me if you managed to get rid of your ammunition.
If I hadn't, I'd already be locked up at the Citadel. I admit your behavior did successfully distract the Ruskies.
The Ruskis.
All right then. What's such a gorgeous hairy mug doing in a crummy place like this?
I spent a little time on the Rue de la Raquette in Paris.
It got demolished 5 years ago.
Oui. What about you? You seem to know your way around this setting. You been here often?
I'll take that as a compliment. And sure, sometimes, if the cause demands it.
What cause?
Let's say I know certain folks who'd find poles like you useful.
Dealers in stolen Dutch pomade?
Donut connoisseurs. They met at Burke Rotblitz's cafe.
What exactly do your friends do?
I'd be glad to tell you, over coffee and jam donuts.
I'm afraid all these screws might have more questions and want to keep you here longer.
Then you won't just miss out on the pastries, but also an adventure worthy of a great cause.
Szulski!
I see you won't be hanging out here either.
Ponowne spotkanie. Quest nowy, tak?
Shulsky, this yours?
Ojoj.
That's right.
Then take it and get out of here.
Can I ask why the sudden change of plans? Anyone I should thank?
If he wants to, he'll tell you himself.
Thank you.
Teczka Wandy. Ej, pierwszy raz dziewczyny tutaj. Teczka Wiktora. Notatka. List gończy. O, to już widzieliśmy ten list gończy. Lista osób poszukiwanych. Maria Burkowa. Nekrolog Stanisława. Stanisław Szulski. A, to ojciec. W początku myślałem, że ten mój Saliukor, który ma ten Sarmata, to jest ojcem jego, ale nie, to nie to. Rozkaz. Na czas obecności w Warszawie miłościwego nam cara Wszechrusi niezbędnym jest wzmocnienie bezpieczeństwa miasta. Zarządzam więc podwojenie liczby patroli. Upraszę się komisarzy każdego posterunku o wypełnienie tego rozporządzenia niezwłocznie. Podpis nieczytelny. O, poziomek dostałem. No to dalej nie mogę rozwijać tych cech, tak? Oj, co ja kupiłem? Cierpienie. Silniejsze cierpienie będę mógł zadawać, tak? Czy to jest jedna umiejętność ulepszona, czy jak to działa? Skaza. Może też się umiejętności nie ulepsza, bo już za dużo by było trochę. Dobra, idziemy na powiązki. No zaraz też nas zaczepi na pewno. W tamtą stronę trzeba iść, to my idziemy oczywiście w drugą stronę. Niewidzialna ściana. Uszanowanie panu. Propagandowa broszura. Czy ja mam jakąś mapę tutaj? Plakat. Koncert inauguracyjny Filharmonii Warszawskiej. Ignacy Jan Paderewski prowadzi występ. Jakieś tory są. Tu coś jest. Co to jest? A, szybka podróż, tak? Ale fajnie. A, jest pod strzałką. Dorożka. Więcej tramwajów. O, mogę zostać przejechany? A, zatrzymuję się. Ten kutas, co sprawdza mechaniki gry. Nie przemyślałem tego w sumie, bo nie wiem, gdzie quest był. Karnecik balowy. Przed północą, po północy. Bal karnawałowy kasyna powszechnego. A czy dobiję jeszcze jeden poziom tutaj? Chyba już nie. Zabraknie mi. Ładnie tu. Ładna ta nasza Warszawa. Taka swojska. Nie dotyczy Warszawa dzisiaj. O, jaki park ładny. Ludzie ładnie ubrani, tylko te ruskie onucowe żołnierze. To ja mogę tu wchodzić? Przecież nie mogę do tych miejsc wchodzić. A, bo to dworzec, no tak, się wyszedłem z dworca. Dobra, jedźmy na Powiązki. Tylko jeszcze zobacz, co tu jest. Kolejny budynek zamknięty. Oj, żona robi babkę, może chwilę ten termomix szaleć. Wybaczcie. Ulotka Wielkie Derby na polu Mokowskim 5 października, początek o 2 po północy. Jeżeli słychać, tak? Może nie słychać za bardzo. Przynajmniej reklama. Pierwszorzędne dekoracje i urządzenia posiada Zakład Pogrzebowy Józefy Nowińskiej w Warszawie, ulica Targowa 16. Urządza pogrzeby od skromnych do najwspanialszych. Ceny nader niskie. A pewnie kolejnego saliutora znajdę, bo będę musiał rozwijać pozostałe też umiejętności. Klepsydra, po krótkich a ciężkich cierpieniach, opatrzony świętym sakramentem, usnął w Panu dnia 18 sierpnia, szerzawszy lat 65. To nie ten, to nie ojciec, to jakiś Franciszek Hirmantel. Sobota, godzina 7 z rana, wotywa ku czci Matki Boskiej Różańcowej, dobra. O, jest. Nekrolog Stanisława Szurskiego. Thaumaturge, ojciec też był taumaturgiem. Nagrobek, Jan Chmielec. Zaraz poziom rzeczywiście bije na tym cmentarzu. Nagrobek. Maria Wisnowska, artystka sceny polskiej. Ciekawe, czy to prawdziwe osoby są. Nagrobek. Friedrich Karl Nesselrothe. Marii Zrobię screena, później sprawdzę. A może sprawdźmy, co? Wygooglujmy. Friedrich Karl Nesse... O, nic nie podpowiada Google. Jest! Friedrich Karl Nesselrothe, właściwie Friedrich Karl Graf von Nesselrothe, hrabia, zmarł 10 lipca 1968. Szlachcic niemiecki w służbie rosyjskiej. Patrzcie, czyja postać to jest. Kolejny plus dla 11-bit Studio. Za dbanie o szczegóły. Ja teraz będę miał poziom.
I'm sure you don't remember. Mordecai, I wanted to offer my condolences.
Thank you.
Please, forgive my crying. I know Mr. Shulsky took nitroglycerin for his heart, but how did he pass away? Was that his cause of death? His heart?
Zakpisz, że twój ojciec nie miał serca.
We've ruled out any coronary causes since the doctors couldn't confirm whether the deceased had a heart.
Yes, I understand. My condolences, once again. I'll leave you alone. I'm sure you want to bid farewell to your father.
Woronir. Jakiś znowu
I ought to arrest you, Thaumaturge.
ruski soldata.
I haven't done anything, officer. What's the problem?
I barely recognize you either. You still haven't figured out who I am? Don't be surprised. The last time we saw one another was 20 kilos ago.
Uncle Voronin?
I will not keep you. The guy's probably all alone back there, among those vultures circling Stasio. I'm sure she'll be glad to see you. Go on. We'll talk later.
Jest mi poziom.
Victor. I'm so glad you came. I wasn't sure if my telegram had reached you.
I'm glad to. How are you holding up?
All this caught me off guard, but for now I don't have time to think things through calmly. Look at yourself. What happened?
Have you written to Mother?
Yes, but what can you expect? You know what Nadia is like. It was never her style to show up for family events like this. It's getting late, and we've still got the reading of Papa's will ahead of us at home. And I'll leave you two alone. I suppose you've got your own matters to clear up.
Fine, let's get this over with.
Będzie jakaś taumaturska magia, czy po prostu się rozmówi?
It was me who got it right in the end. Back then, when
on the train platform was the last time we saw one another. 15 years ago. After brief suffering, fell asleep in the Lord. Brief? I hope not. Did you write this yourself? A
Jeszcze po nim jedzie.
and liar, mistakenly absorbed, died after suffering all too briefly. That's better, and definitely closer to the truth. The day you died, you visited me in my dreams. I was a child when you hounded me out of here, and I remember you as you were back then. But in my dream you looked older. You gave me hell as usual. You didn't believe I'd succeed. You were wrong. I've come back with 2 salutars. I'm sorry there are so many things I didn't get to say to your face. All those years, I said them over and over to myself in my head. How you were never able to admit a mistake. You never sought blame in yourself. Someone else was always guilty, never you. Mother, because she wanted something for herself in life. Ligia, because she wasn't born a boy. Me, because I was born a Thaumaturge, but I didn't want to live following your principles. And now... Farewell, Father.
Am I intruding?
Nie dadzą mu spokojnie. Że zakłócił ci moment osobistej zadumy.
I was reflecting at the grave of my beloved father.
You tricked me. I heard something else. Stanisław and I were acquainted. You might say I knew everything about your father. Mr. Victor Szulski, isn't it? Your absence from Warsaw has happily come to an end, I hope.
With all due respect, this is my personal business. It was my father who knew you, not me.
True. Please forgive me. I meant no harm. Again, my condolences.
I didn't catch your name.
Bo go nie powiedziałem.
My name is Konieczkin.
Konieczkin. Kolejny Rusek.
Such interesting friends you had.
O, będzie jednak magia.
I guess I'm more tired than I thought.
A to już po 2 punkty kosztuje. Akcja, reakcja, zadaje obrażenia. Nikodem Szulski.
Nikodem, a Thaumaturge. I barely remember him.
Józefina Szulska z domu jakiegoś tam.
Grandmother Josephine.
Nic to po nas, idziemy. Jakieś znajdźki będziemy znajdować. Aha.
The hardest thing was getting the lid of the urn. The scattering I could handle.
Jaki żartowniś.
The clown, but I know how much this has cost you. I'm glad you went.
Love at a funeral. Eros postmortem. Is it suitable for a young lady in mourning to fraternize with bachelors? Konstancja Szabłowska, the Warsaw courier, Could I ask for a brief comment?
Hyena.
Thank you. And you, sir?
I can sort it out, but it might cause you some trouble.
It's not worth getting your hands dirty over.
Get out of here, or I might decide you're attacking an Imperial official, and you'll wake up tomorrow in the Citadel.
Are you threatening me, Judge?
I'm actually sparing you from him. Would you rather try your luck with a Thaumaturge? Come on, children. I'm sure my Pietia is already waiting for us at home.
I'd love to see my cousin.
Are you coming with us?
Thanks.
Get in. I'm sure the lawyer is already waiting for us.
To jeszcze jedna lokacja. Już sobie pobiegam, poszukam notatek, albo nie, później. Jak będą inne znajdźki, to pewnie one się jeszcze nie pokazały na mapie, więc może później będziemy sobie zwiedzać. Kamienica Szulskich. Nasza baza wypadowa pewnie. Grażyna.
The lawyer's upstairs too, waiting. A trifle jittery. Wonder if the tea I made him was too strong.
Thank you, Grażyna, dear.
Grażyna Dir. Mogę po polsku zrobić dubbing.
Care of the will.
I'll just wet my whistle and join you all upstairs.
Make sure Uncle makes it upstairs sober. And I'll suggest you don't dawdle either.
Master Victor, good God! Half your face covered, but I could tell right away it was you. You look just like your father in his youth. Completely his spitting image. Should I make you some cocoa, Master? It would warm you up a little.
Make an extra creamy one for Ligia.
Oh, I won't skimp on her. Now, your sister's putting a brave face on all this, but she's really having a hard time. It's lovely to see you again. But that's enough jabber for now. I've got the guests and the cocoa, and I've got to whip up some food for you all later. We'll talk soon.
O, ludzi tu dużo jest. Portret ojca. Grymuar w dłoni. Kurier warszawski. Kurier! O, zamieszki, to my.
I want to put my foot in my mouth again. I already failed to recognize someone once today, but you look familiar.
Ten kuzyn.
I should think so. I was the victim of one of your starling hunts. Voronins must not be very memorable, cousin.
Pietia! Forgive me, and for shooting you as well. How are you doing?
Just some heart problems, not a subject for today. I'm sorry about Uncle Stanisław. Forgive me for not coming to the funeral. I can't bear cemeteries.
We'll have to meet up again.
Goodbye.
$365 obiadów za 5 zł przez Lucynę C. Oczyszczony, skubany, póki ciepły kapłan. Kapłan lub pularda z serdelami. Oczyszczony, skubany, póki ciepły kapłan, biorąc do użytku osmolić nad ogniem z reszty piór i sypów. Podroby odżyna się, używając je do rosołu. Jezu, jak ciężko się to czyta. Płucze soli wewnątrz i zewnątrz i piecze narożnie, oblewając masłem. Na dopieczeniu kładzie się wewnętrzną sporą łyżkę masła serdelowego. Bułką tartą, rumieni polewa masłem ściekłym na patelnię. Okej. Kabinet dojrzałych, przybranych należycie owoców. Znowu nalewka Grażyny, o.
Oh, I'm glad you're here. I thought I'd have to drink alone.
So many goodies laid out for the guests. Having trouble picking something for yourself, Judge?
But this was Stasios. It was special. Amber liqueur with quinces.
I think you mean quince liqueur with amber, right? If it's not here, I'm sure it's in the basement. But I won't grope around down there in the dark now. I've got my hands full.
Nah, I don't want to trouble you either. Victor, could you track down a little bottle for your uncle?
I suppose I'm obligated to accept this mission.
Nie dali nam wyboru.
A nephew like you is a treasure.
Bierz się Morany. Kolejne sekrety. Portret matki. Z czasów młodości. Stoi dum na białej sukni, niedawny szal, narzucony na odsłonięte ramiona. Poziomek. Adrenalina na 5 tur. Zwiększone obrażenia o 50%. To jest dużo. Pigwówka z bursztynem. Od butelki czuć nie tylko słodki zapach pigwy, ale jeszcze radość z nadchodzącego spotkania, który jednoczy i odsyła jak gorycz z zimności, element rytuału, któremu towarzyszy, oddawało się do skoszu dwóch starych przyjaciół. W winie wyczuwalny jest aromat brzoskwin, jabłek i pewnej dozy przekonania, że oto relacje między dwoma osobami rozpoczyna nabierać romantycznych rumieńców, trunek wyższych sfer podawany mężczyźnie przez kobietę. Pinot Noir of Oregon. Niemoc artykulacji płynący z wielkiego zdziwienia. Trudno było wysztucić choć słowo podziękowania za wyjątkowy podarek. Słowo więzły w gardle, mimo podania do tego właśnie alkoholu. To ulubiony trunek, ale niepożądany prezent. Butelka Woronina. Czyli każda butelka do czegoś innego trochę się nadaje, tak? Już znamy jej echo.
How did it go? Mission accomplished?
You'll have to wait a moment yet, Uncle.
Stań pigwówkę.
How did it go?
I think this is the one Uncle wanted.
Yes. This is our little funeral battle. We would meet in Stasia's study after every funeral we went to, and raised a toast to the dead. And recently, we've been seeing one another more and more at such events. More and more. But this time, even he has left me. So, to an easy death, as Stasia and I used to say.
How did he die?
Hasn't Ligia told you?
I haven't even had the chance to ask.
He didn't suffer, but such images in the memory are better saved for later. I'd prefer to remember him as he was alive. What then? Am I drinking alone?
May the ground be soft, Father. I'm not betting there's an afterlife.
Well, obligation fulfilled. Shall we get to the reading of the will?
At the funeral, there was this sad Jewish fellow, Mordechai Hayat. Do you know him, Uncle?
He worked for Stanisław, but that was a long time ago. I don't know him more than that. So, shall we collect our inheritance?
Yes, let's find out what my father hasn't left me.
Let's begin if everyone is ready. Would you all please take a seat? Ladies and gentlemen, by the power of my office vested in me by the grace of His Imperial Majesty, the Emperor of all Russia, I hereby testify. Mr. Szulski's last will and testament were prepared several years ago in the presence of Zaslav Fedorov, Esquire, that is, myself. My last will and testament recorded in the year of our Lord 1888. In the name of the Holy Trinity. Amen. Therefore, my first irrevocable wish is to appoint as executrix of this will my daughter, Ligia Szulska. Immediately after my death, an inventory shall be conducted in full accordance with the law. After completing the inventory, all my personal movables will be sold at public auction. And let the funds raised thereby be donated on the anniversary of my death to the beggars near that cemetery. Distribution of the remainder of my fortune I leave, without restriction, to the person of my daughter Ligia.
I'm not even getting a teaspoon.
All movables and immovables relating to the family enterprise, I
Nawet łyżeczki dostanie.
administration of my daughter.
Księgę pewnie po nim dostanie.
Prescribe a method of administering them. I merely offer her one piece of advice. I wish that the business should be conducted with modesty, prudence, and honesty, as I have conducted it my whole life.
A joker to the very end.
To my brother-in-law and oldest friend, Alexander Voronin, I wish to leave the following. My collection of muskets and 2 revolvers, dating to the uprising in memory of our first meeting.
Stasio, I will have plenty to do in my retirement.
Enjoy your retirement. I wish you success with your business and your hunting. I'm going to have something to eat before heading off.
Just a moment yet, Mr. Szulski. Your name is also mentioned here.
A last-minute plot twist.
Kurde.
I also like to come to the aid of my only son, Viktor Szulski, by entrusting him with the use of my personal
Mówiłem?
grimoire, in the hope that he will be able to make good use of it. This is my last will and testament. Carry it out solemnly, though you may have found it burdensome. However, this last bequest poses a certain problem.
Nie ma księgi gdzie.
And what is that, may I ask?
I am not in possession of this grimoire. The late Mr. Szulski used it up until his death, yet no one left it with me after his passing.
Meaning it's disappeared? Did Father have his grimoire on him at the time of his death?
It was only because of the grimoire that we could identify him at all.
What actually happened? How did he die?
A building collapsed on top of him. I don't know any other way of putting it.
No, będziemy śledztwo prowadzić.
A building? It collapsed on top of him? How? How did this happen?
It was a day like any other. Papa had gone for his habitual walk. Every Tuesday and Thursday, he'd take a stroll to get some space, as he put it. When he didn't come back for a long time, I got the bad feeling something had happened. Then...
We rode there together. An entire wall of a tenement had collapsed. There were 3 victims, including Stasio, who had the bad luck to simply be walking by. To see him there in that condition, it's beyond description.
The grimoire. Could someone have taken it?
Perhaps, in all that confusion.
But why would anyone want Papa's grimoire? An ordinary person won't use it. Would the Thaumaturge just happen to be passing by?
Father had all his knowledge in there, but I don't know if it would be useful to someone other than him. I don't even know why he left it to me.
I'm sure Stasio had a reason.
Where did it happen? Where was this building?
The southern part of mieście, not far from the police station. Anyway, you can miss it.
Of all the possibilities, this was the death that fate prepared for him.
I foresaw a slightly more pleasant end for him myself. I doubt even he deserved such a horrible death.
Those might be the kindest words you've ever said on the subject of a father.
How typical of his sort of person to keep a portrait in his study of a family that was only a family on canvas. Not long after the painting was done, he got divorced, ruined the Niedzicas, and kicked out his son. But there the portrait hangs, as if family meant anything at all.
I don't know what exactly happened with Abourice, but I know that Papa felt guilty. You don't want to forgive him even now that he's gone?
The dead need no forgiving. And as for forgetting, I don't know how. It's just a shame about the grimoire.
What do you intend to do?
Father evidently knew a certain Ivan Konieczkin. Have you heard anything about him?
Konieczkin? No, doesn't ring a bell.
All sorts of people came to Papa's store. That doesn't mean every one of them might know something about the grimoire.
That's true. You've got your work cut out for you.
And Mordechai Chayat? Could that be a lead?
I don't think so. He worked with Father, but he left more than a year ago. I don't know why. He was an assistant at my store.
Do you know where I might find him?
Sadly, no.
Do you have any other ideas?
And where are Father's things at the moment?
You're standing at the very center of his kingdom. Not everything has been sorted through yet, but you go right ahead.
And the store? I should check that too.
I've started stock taking there to distract myself, and I don't want you to go in there before I've finished.
As you wish. I think we have to look for the answer in the place where it happened.
With your sight, you can make out more in those ruins than I, or Uncle, or Detective could. This is a good lead, but is it the only one?
Now at least I can see how little I know. Maybe these scraps of information will lead me somewhere.
Well, now that we know what's got to be figured out, forgive me, my darlings. I'm going to give my old bones a rest.
I'll see you out.
Goodbye, Uncle. And, Ligia. I'm sorry it happened this way. That I wasn't close by.
The most important thing is you're here now.
Na to będziemy kończyć na dzisiaj. Dzięki, że oglądaliście i słyszymy się jutro. Cześć!